All right. Well, we are here recording this video update with Sophia Hoyt this time. I'm James Dutt and happy to be asking some interview questions again. Sophia, can you say hi?
Hi.
Sophia, who are you exactly and how are you related to Steve and Melinda?
I am their oldest daughter, Sophia Hoyt. I am a senior in high school this year at RVA, getting ready to go to college.
Sophia, how long have you been in Kenya?
This is my 4th year in Kenya.
Okay, and how long have you been in the field with your parents?
Since I was 3 years old, so 15 years.
Okay, so 15 years, so that'd been like 2005, and that was back when you guys were with EMI in Uganda, correct?
Yep.
So I first met you in the summer of 2006, so you would have been 4. Wow. All right. Long time ago.
Yep.
So Sophia, you're a senior at RVA. What does campus look like during COVID this year? So obviously here the schools are, depending on where people are listening in from, are very different. What's happening there?
Right now everything is online, and it's going to be online for much longer than most schools, simply because we're an international boarding school, and we have students from all around the world, most of which are in countries that are still closed and wouldn't be able to get back even if we did open up in person. So right now it's like 20 staff families, and my sisters and I are the only high schoolers on campus. So it's
What about your teachers? Are they back at RVA or are they potentially somewhere else as well?
A lot of the teachers are here. Most of them aren't. In fact, most of them are in the States. A few have just came back from the States, but it's a little difficult time zone.
Yeah, I was going to say, how do the time zones work? Because here it's 2 p.m., there it's 9 p.m. I'm on Eastern time. So how does that work as far as class schedules go?
It can be interesting. We have students in South Korea. We have students in one of my classmates recently moved to Alaska. Then we have students all over Africa. Some are in Europe right now. It's kind of crazy. They set it to Kajabi, the Kenya time zone. I always forget what the name is, but it's set to that, so things are due at like midnight on EAT. Yeah. So it's everything's due around then. So it's just about, depending on where you are, making sure that you're keeping track of what time it is in Kenya.
What time it is in Kenya. Yeah. Wow. So what are you taking this fall?
This fall I'm taking AP Statistics, English 12, Bible and PE, Current World Issues, Environmental Science, and Yearbook.
Okay, so I think the Current World Issues class is probably out of date already, but yeah, that's good. So you're a senior, you're gonna be graduating, I assume, in May or June of next year?
July, mid-July.
And what are you planning on doing after you graduate?
My plan is to go to Rutgers University in New Jersey to get a stage management degree.
Very cool. So you're in the application process and
Yep.
Very cool. How's that going?
It's good. It's good. Most of my applications are almost finished. I'm getting my last college essay edited right now. But yeah.
Who's doing the editing?
Currently my guidance counselor.
Okay. Your dad shared that your mom does a lot of his editing, so I just wondered if you were keeping it in the family.
Well, they're going to edit it too after she's done, but right now she's it, so.
Wow. All right. So potentially coming to New Jersey, back to the States for school. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
Why stage management?
I came to RVA in my freshman year. I joined the theater program and I fell in love immediately, but I'm not really artistic or good at acting in general. So I was working stage crew. And one thing I am relatively good at is managing people and working with their different abilities and giving them the jobs that work with them best. And I'm also really good with like emotions, and like my EQ is pretty high. So working stage management, you work the tactical, you work with people, you have to deal with mental breakdowns regularly. And it's just something that I really enjoy. So I've stage managed 2 productions at RVA and was a member of stage crew for 2 others.
So does that mean you're building sets as well, or you're working with the actors and actresses, or can you help me delineate that a little bit?
Yeah, I add pieces to sets. I work with props a lot of the time. Usually the set building itself goes to maintenance workers, so my dad's workers.
Yeah.
Because yeah, I mean, as a student, I don't have time, but they get paid to do that. So most of it's working with props and people, and scene transitions is a big thing for stage management. We also work closely, tied very closely to lights departments and sound.
Okay. What's been your favorite productions that you've worked on in the last years here at RVA?
Around the World in 80 Days.
Okay.
Adapted by our English 9 teacher here, Christy Faber. She did a great job on the script, and it was so beautiful. She designs as well. She designed the stage, and it was so beautiful. And it was a little hectic. We had like 6 stage crew members at the time. I was one of the stronger ones physically, and we all had a lot of heavy pieces to move, couches, things like that. And we had this steep staircase, and it was fun just trying to, learn how to do all that in the dark. So
Nice, great. What so out and about in Kajabe, what's life like there now? So we're 6 months into a global pandemic, and your parents shared a little bit a few months ago about what it was like. But as you leave campus today, maybe do you leave campus, and what is it like?
I do leave campus occasionally. I think 3 times out of the 6 months, I've gone to Nairobi. One time I went to Naivasha. So,
And where's that relative to Kajabe and Nairobi?
Naivasha is about 30 minutes away from Kajabi, 30 to 45, and about 2 to 3 hours away from Nairobi.
Okay.
Yeah.
And are there a lot of people out and about? Is there a lot of precautions because of coronavirus, or is it business as usual?
There's supposed to be caution, and people aren't supposed to be as active as they are right now. But there's at this point, it's looking more like business as usual.
Yeah.
You see a lot of masks. Most of them are around the chins.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's legal from a legal standpoint. There's a lot of precautions. In reality, no one really follows them anymore.
Okay. Yeah. So last spring, obviously, the seniors from RVA went home, and I'm sure you had some friends that left early in March and April. And so you've now had the summer, and you've started your senior year somewhat separated, I assume, from many of the people that you were hoping that would be back with you. How's that been? How are you feeling about that and your senior year starting under some different circumstances?
Yeah, it's been hard. Most of my friends were seniors,
Okay.
and including my boyfriend, and they are all scattered within a span of 5. Didn't have time to say goodbye to a lot of them, and it was a grieving process for sure.
Yeah.
The biggest problem for me was dealing with that, plus having to help my sisters go through that kind of stuff as well, because they had some friends in the senior class, and so yeah, it was just hard to deal with both at the same time.
Yeah. Have you guys been able to do anything as a family that's special this summer? Now that school started again, I assume that you're all hitting the books, but in the last month or so?
Yeah, we went to an Airbnb in Naivasha.
Okay.
Maddie's birthday. It was really nice. Not a regular thing, not really expensive, but more than we can afford right now. But it was good. It was a couple days, a nice break. It kind of felt like we were home because it was just the place was built somewhat like our old house, and it was nice, very relaxing.
Yeah.
I would do it again, but
So when
with
you say
school,
home, do you mean Maine? Do you mean Colorado? Do you mean Uganda?
Uganda.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. So do you miss Uganda?
I do. Yeah. My aunt and sister are both there right now. I haven't seen them since Christmas. I don't think I've talked to my sister since Christmas. I've talked to my aunt more often, but even then, she doesn't have great Wi-Fi, so it's only texting or an occasional audio call. There's no
Yeah.
FaceTime situation there. But yeah, I miss Uganda. I mostly miss my family that's there right now. Um, it usually by now my aunt's come to visit already. She usually
Okay.
comes for
Yeah. And is the border still closed, or what's the situation with travel to Uganda right now?
Yeah, the Ugandan border is still closed. There's a rumor that it will open sometime this month, but that is simply a rumor. Um, the Kenyan border is open, but the Ugandan border is not.
Yeah. Okay. Um, so I know we're getting close to our time here, but how can we be praying for you, this fall as it sounds like you're in the throes of applying to colleges and your senior year, and just you and your family in general.
Um, we've been struggling recently with um having so few people around and just being surrounded by each other all the time. I mean, sometimes that can be great, sometimes not so great. So just that we could have patience with each other as we go through this. Um, two of my sisters are extroverted, and they're really struggling right now not to have any friends around. So prayers for them. Um, yeah, it's hard, the grieving process and losing friends for all my entire family. Um, really hard. So just prayers for that and for peace. It's hard for missionaries and missionary kids specifically to ever get the real chance to say goodbye.
Yeah.
And this another example of that. This time more global, but yeah. So just prayers for closure in those
Yeah.
areas.
When do you start finding out about colleges and your next steps?
I should find out early January, maybe late December. Um, yeah. So it it's coming up. It's getting there.
Yeah.
After that, it's dealing with tuition costs. My parents won't be able to pay anything towards my tuition, so I'm gonna have to get loans and scholarships, and yeah, I have to work on my grade point average right now.
Well, thankfully, there's nothing else to do but study, right?
Yeah, well, there you go.
Perfect. Great. Well, Sophia, thank you so much for taking the time to talk today, and thanks for sharing this with the folks that pray and have been supporting your family.
Thank you.